Interesting. Interesting. In other nepotism news, basketball, gimme the ball because I'm gonna dunk it.
Yeah.
So nepotism, we've heard it now. The draft happened, it came and went. Bronny is officially on the Lakers. There's no better example of nepotism in sports right now because Bronny James was not ready for the NBA.
Are
He
you kidding
got
me?
that spot because of his daddy.
That's the biggest form of nepotism you see in sports today is that.
I mean,
Look
as
at the
far as a
Lakers
player,
organization as a whole.
as far as a player getting on a team for that reason, yes. But I mean, we could go into the annals of history about
If
people in
they okay,
organizations and see what
if you
Sean
wanted to see true
what
nepotism, they would have taken him at 17.
It's fair.
no
It's a fair point.
no that they're not that stupid. Like there's going to be some realistic evaluation. Like they're not going to take someone who's not ready for the NBA at 17.
LeBron's still a free agent. Like he hasn't signed a contract
He
to
opted
go
out.
back. So he
He
opted
opted
out.
out.
He's a
He
free
did this
agent.
so they could potentially get a big name signing. He said he's not going to take as much money, kind of the Tom Brady contract, but come on, he's not going to take much less.
50
No,
to 49 million.
Right.
with the way the contracts are rolling right now, of course. Of course. Why wouldn't you? You just had the center from the Nets go to the Thunder. I don't even know his name. 3 years,
The Knicks.
87.
Oh, Isaiah
The
The
Hartenstein.
Knicks,
Knicks to
sorry.
the Thunder.
Yeah.
Hartenstein. Yeah,
This
Hartenstein.
guy does not know
Uh
ball.
87
He's also
million.
black.
Yeah.
Is he? Oh, fair enough. Whatever.
Yeah.
Uh uh Hartenstein, 87 million, 87.5 million for 3 years. Like, yeah, LeBron's gonna still take his 50 to 60 more likely.
And the best part is JJ Redick in an interview, I think it was today or yesterday. Somebody asked him about that, and his response was, "Well, Bonnie did the put the work in to get picked at this spot." And I mean, come on, what are we talking about?
He's since he's taken that job, he's given the most political answers to like the whole answer about him and LeBron in the podcast. And it's like we haven't talked about this until I got signed. I was like, this
It's a good
dude,
answer. It's a good
he
answer.
I'll give him credit.
he's trained in the media pretty well. But through this whole uh, I was about to say debacle, but it's really not a debacle. But through this whole process, I've only seen one person, former NBA player CJ McCollum, stand up for Bronny in this decision by the Lakers.
Former?
I what
Did you say former?
is he still
He's
playing? I
he's still
thought dude
playing.
retired.
No.
Well, then why
CJ
the fuck was he
McCollum?
on TV? I called him former because I thought he had like fully gone to an analyst position. Anyways, he's talking about, like he started off playing in the G League and, the NBA journey is a development process and blah, blah, blah. Like, great. That's great for players that are actually like ready to start that development. Like, Bronny could use a couple more years in college. Him playing in the G League, I still feel like that puts him out of like his like talent pool. Like he's gonna be playing guys that can still whoop his ass. And like he doesn't have the stature, he doesn't have the skill. He really struggles shooting the ball. And if you really feel like that the best way for him to develop that is in the G League and the stay ready practice games and all that bullshit that CJ McCollum was talking about, I feel like there's more development to be made in college. And there's a whole argument between what's the best route to get in the NBA, and a lot of players, especially overseas, kind of have a certain feeling about the way we play ball in college. But I think, if anything, it just gives him more time to get NBA ready, and I just don't know if the G League still is even the right spot for him.
And now I think he has the potential to be a good NBA player down the road. I think so. I mean, I think he's got too much in his genes and too many people around him to not be at least serviceable in the NBA and have a 8, 10 year career. But it's clearly, and I don't blame the Lakers for doing this at all. I mean, they see it's a ticket thing too for them. I mean, I don't blame them one bit. Not that help. I mean, that place is sold out most of the time anyways. But still, it's just the fact of it is impressive. I'll give him credit. I mean, that is it's a really cool story, and it'll be something that'll be really cool for years to come. But I just think for all of the guys that didn't get drafted, how is that not just a smack to the face, really? About, I mean, really, that's really what it looks like to me.
Well, at the same time, there are half the picks in the NBA draft do not pan out. They don't make it past 1 year anyways. You're forgetting Bronny also had a cardiac arrest before going into college.
Yep.
That definitely hampered his year. He tested incredibly well at the combine. He was shooting lights out. His measurements were unbelievable for a stature of his. So he has the potential to do that. He's been around this his whole entire life. He's going to have an easier transition going into living a life of an NBA player compared to other college players that are coming up. And I believe I saw a stat recently where it was an average of colleges in the US, and if you were a son of a player that used to play in the NBA, if you're the son of a player that used to play in the NBA, you have a 40% chance above everybody else to exceed expectations of somebody that just gets drafted right there.
And God damn it,
So
if you're the son of LeBron,
you got to do something.
I understand time was kind of running out for LeBron to play with his son. But I feel like it would have been a little more epic if Bronny was a little more proven, if he was a little more ready, if there was more statistics to back up his place in the NBA.
If
I
he
feel
was the
like it would
next
be
LeBron,
well, not even that. Just like can instead of averaging 7 points off the bench in college, maybe he averages somewhere in the teens on a starting spot. Like it's
do
he.
you think if LeBron and James Jr. was better at basketball, LeBron would want another team to draft him so he can try to beat him instead of
No,
playing with him?
no. This
I
was his
think the goal
plan
This
from day
all
one
this
was
has been
along.
a
always to play
dream.
with his son. Yeah.
I think so. And I think maybe he tries to stick around even long enough for who's that? Bryce, the
Yeah, he's not
youngest.
sticking around that long.
Who know? I
I don't
mean,
know.
how
That's
many
still
more years is
almost
that left?
5 years. What? At least
It's
three
like it's
years.
3 years.
3 years.
Bryce Bryce is going to be more NBA ready, and Bryce is going to play his
100%.
brother in the NBA if his brother still pans out, and it's going to be ugly.
You think this could turn into a situation like Caitlin Clark is facing, where maybe some of the guys who weren't drafted, or there's only a few spots under him, but maybe some of those guys, or maybe even some of the guys that went above him, still see this as nepotism, just like we're seeing it from the outside, and maybe try to one up him on the court, whether that be going lights out on him, yamming on him,
I don't think
sending
it's
him
going to
into
be
the bleachers.
I don't think it's going to be guys that are drafted around him. I think it'll be veterans in the league that
Yeah.
have been around for a while.
And
But then you
whether
got
it's right or
LeBron, Big
not,
Daddy there, so
whether
what are
that
they really
part's
going to
right or
do?
wrong, I would encourage it. Anything you can use to get motivated to put up some highlights, go for it. It's good TV.
And I think the best part about this whole thing is I just saw a thing a little bit ago that said Bronny is the most bet on player to win NBA Rookie of the Year right now. And he's at like plus 25,000.
Jesus.
Oh, Vegas is making money.
Oh, yeah.
If that pans out, though, whew,
That's insane.
They can be paying out a lot of money.
We're in the heart of free agency outside of the draft that happened a little bit ago. We had some big names moving around. Biggest one is Paul George, who left the Clippers. Um, where did he go again? 76ers. That's right.
Yeah.
Went to
Philly.
the
And
76ers.
real quick, he left the Clippers before like they still have capital coming from their trade to get Paul George. They have an unprotected coming next year or something like that. Like he's leaving the Clippers without the Clippers sending back all the stuff that they traded for him. Like it's ridiculous.
Good.
It's
They
one of the
lost
worst
that
trades in
trade.
NBA history. We've
Oh,
seen we've seen a lot of shitty ones, but it's been a really bad trade for the Clippers.
That is the worst trade in NBA history, and I love it for my Thunder.
Yeah. Get
I
SGA, one of those pieces that they had to give up.
Amen. Yes, sir.
I do really like the Chris Paul going to the Spurs. I think that's low-key a pretty exciting for them, giving a veteran against Wembayama. to pair him with. I think that's a really low key good signing.
I think it's going to be a lot of circa what 2008 to 2013 New Orleans Hornets, Chris Paul to Tyson Chandler,
Yep.
but a lot more efficient.
We'll see if old CP3 still has it in him. I think that's going to be. We've just seen him kind of starting to go off the cliff the last couple of years, and
He's
and
going to mentor Stephon Castle very well.
I was gonna
yeah,
say his most effective role here is gonna be mentor because I don't know if he can stay healthy for a full season to make that type of playoff run impact. He's gonna be
28
nice to
minutes a
have for
game.
the team. Exactly. Like I mean, he shouldn't be playing the minutes that he had been. And if it all goes well, he probably won't have to. But it's an interesting move, chance for him to get somewhere deeper in the playoffs. But I don't think this is a championship move for Chris Paul.
no.
He is going to end up with the short end of the
I don't
stick.
know, man. Wimby's Wimby can do it. If he gets just a
And
little bit of help.
well,
Uh,
the lamest move out of the big moves is Klay Thompson going to the Mavericks. Um, Klay sucks. I mean, Klay. I don't like Klay.
Washed.
I never liked Klay uh, a lot in the first place, but Klay sucks.
hasn't stayed healthy for the last couple of years. I don't know if he can. I don't know if he can find the health that he had before. It's probably going to be a lot like this Chris Paul move, where it's limited minutes, probably every single night. Um, I don't see this move helping the Dallas Mavericks at all. It doesn't really move the needle. Maybe they got 2% better, but this move I don't see it helping them at all.
But I
It's
think
just a
it's
big
part of
man.
the thing too, where it's the Warriors were so bad really the last year that we don't know if it's going to help either. I mean, you do have a guy with championship pedigree, so that never. But I think one of the biggest underrated signings too, or well, this is just to me because I'm a KU guy, but Contavious Caldwell Pope going to Orlando, opening up that spot for Christian Brown there for Denver. I like that one.
Yeah, that's going to hurt
There you
Denver a
go.
lot there, I feel like. KCP was a big piece for them. I've heard they're in rumors to try to get Russell Westbrook, which
I
please
was
do
just
that.
about to say that.
Yeah,
Please do
I
that,
was just
Denver.
about to say that. That's
Please be
that's
stupid.
I
I
mean,
don't know.
will
Braun's been kind of a fan favorite over there. Like even the minutes that he got off the bench, he always tries to show out, and I've like he's got a spot in the fan base's heart in Denver. So
I think even the GM came out and said that if we do lose KCP, that we're in perfect shape with Christian Brown.
yeah,
So, and I know they really like him.
I like the confidence in him. I grew up Mizzou fan, so I will forever hate KU, but I like the way Braun plays.
In the NBA, not KU.
Yeah.
I was going to add because that is Sean a very big rumor with Russ potentially being traded to the Nuggets. I don't know if I hate that move for the Nuggets. They don't really like. Yes, Russ has not been who Russ was back on the Thunder with KD for a long time, and even without KD going for all the triple doubles and padding his stats. But they need he had solidified his role as the sixth man, or even a little bit further down the bench on the rest of the teams that he's played for, and that's one of the things that the Nuggets don't have is depth.
It was
They've
really
got an
only the Clippers
amazing.
where he did that.
Yeah,
He did that in LA as well. He was six man coming off the bench in LA.
Oh,
not very good.
we weren't going to talk about the Lakers stint.
That was
It was
That
bad.
was
bad. But
unsuccessful.
the one thing that the Nuggets don't have is depth. And so putting him in that role coming off the bench while your starters are getting some rest, a guy who can at least go up and get some points, keep keep the team kind of in it. I don't see that as a bad move because he's not really ever going to see the floor when the main five are in.
Yeah,
He'll
he's a
never
big
see the
energy
floor
guy
when
too.
Murray's in.
Big
Big
energy
energy.
guy. I think that is a big potential right there.
Yeah, and I like to see Russell succeed. Like I've had my issues with like his attitude on the court sometimes, but he's an electric player, and I like when he does good because that's good TV.